This isn't how I wanted to start my channel, but I live in Florida and I breed snakes. So I guess here we are. You're a pretty girl.
This is going to be a little bit different than my other videos. If you are a reptile owner, a reptile breeder, or an animal lover, or just a humane person in general, you should be royally pissed off right now after what FWC did this past week down in southern Florida. A little background here, in 2021, Florida made reticulated pythons and Burmese pythons prohibited species in the state, which wouldn't have been a huge deal because they initially said this.
The public's aware that if you currently own one of these reptiles, you're allowed to keep it till its death. So no one's telling you you have to go get rid of your pet or euthanize it. No one's from the state's going to take it away from you. So I think there's some misinformation out there, and I just want to clarify that for the people listening.
However, the following year, a man named Chris Coffey reached out to them saying, "Hey, I was a reticulated python and Burmese python breeder, and I am still holding a number of these snakes because I've been having some trouble selling them." About 39 snakes, I believe he still had on hand. And so he reached out in good faith saying, "Hey, can I have a little bit more time to move these out of this state or find new owners for them?" The state of Florida responded to his request by showing up at his facility and issuing 75 charges for all of the animals that he owned at the time. One of the stipulations of his probation there was that he was not to sell or move the snakes. However, this creates a problem because he also wasn't allowed to keep the snakes. So now we have a number of large snakes that he's not allowed to do anything with and not allowed to keep. Anyone see the hypocrisy there? So on Thursday, the FWC showed up at Chris Coffey's facility under false pretenses saying that there was a reticulated python loose and they wanted to double check to see if it was his. While they were there, they executed 29 Burmese pythons, 5 reticulated pythons, and his pet boa. The pet boa is where it gets complicated because Chris had repeatedly told them that they were not to kill this boa. She was pregnant. Just for those who don't know, boa constrictors can have up to 60 live babies at a time. So he set up his camera watching all of his snakes get executed, and he had to leave the room because honestly, these are our pets. We love them. And watching these animals that you have hatched from eggs and grown up be executed on a concrete floor is devastating. So while he was out of the room, the officers continued to pull snakes out of cages, honestly, in watching the video as quickly as possible, with very little regard to what they were doing. They pulled out the boa, executed her. Well, not quite. No, they put a nail gun in her head, then realized what they were doing and stood around for 20 minutes saying fuck. In this time, the boa continued writhing on the floor, dying slowly and in pain. They were trying to decide how they were going to tell the owner rather than just respond by walk immediately and go, "Hey, we messed up, what can we do now?" So when they actually get around to telling the owner 20 minutes later, as the snake is dying slowly, their response is there any way that we can save the babies? To be honest, in my opinion, if they had cared about saving the babies, they would have approached the owner right after they killed the snake. So here's the thing. These officers come out, they execute all of these animals that are illegal to keep, execute an animal that is perfectly legal to keep and was pregnant at the time, and then turn around asking, can we save these babies? If they were unable to tell the difference between a Burmese python and a boa constrictor, they had no business executing those animals. I'm gonna throw some pictures of what these two snakes look like. The state of Florida royally fucked up here, and they even went against what they said because, once again, this is what was said back in 2021.
The public's aware that if you currently own one of these reptiles, you're allowed to keep it.
So what can we do now? Well, USARK Florida is taking this case, so definitely get on their website, support them if you can. You can even just get a free membership if you can't afford to purchase or donate to them right now. But these are some of the things that we should be fighting for in the state of Florida. And honestly, in the entire United States, because some of the biggest reptile shows are actually held in Florida. What happens in Florida impacts the rest of the country. I'm gonna roll some of the footage that USARK released here. I'm gonna warn you, this is very graphic, it's very upsetting, so this is a good place to stop the video if you do not want to see upsetting content.
The images and language that follow are disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
I've handled one python ever.
Okay. Do you want to practice one of these? You gonna do that?
Yeah, he don't need that.
Okay.
So we'll tell you, so
There's
there's,
lift this up.
no, you pull this as a
Oh,
safety,
you pull it.
and then you just snap, like you hit down, and eventually it'll bruise.
Boom.
Because it's like a shot.
Comes out and comes back in.
So it shoots in, and then it comes back into it, and
So-
you'll notice.
The snake has the two eyes in front, and you see where the back of the jaws are, right? Where they stick out there. An X right between in there, and that's where you want to put it. Between
Okay.
the eyes and the back of the jaws.
for the eyes.
Oh, wow.
So back up just a little bit.
Center it. Yeah.
Just pull. It's a safety, and then you just kind of bang on the top.
How hard do you think was right?
No, you're fine.
Your palms will start to
Your
hurt.
palms will hurt. Yeah.
Just wait a minute, make sure that's it. Every snake over there is I mean, every one of the snakes are chill.
I got it.
The bowl's dead. What? The bowl. The pregnant bowl. No! No! Oh my god, that guy's gonna fucking flip out. What's wrong with you guys?
Yeah.
Hey!
We're shaking just like you are.
Is there a way to maybe save the babies? Oh no, dude. This guy's gonna go bananas. Oh my god, why?
It was a mistake.
How? I reminded you 10 times! Fuck! Fuck! Oh my god, no, you can't fix it. You can't fix it. What just happened? You can't fix. You can't fix it. You just killed something that wasn't illegal, and it had about $100,000 worth of fucking babies.
I'm pissed off, and I think that everyone else should be too. These animals are our babies. We love them. I mean, this is Bryn here. She's 6 months old and just coiled up like a scarf around my neck. We care for them daily. If this had been cats or dogs in that facility, the world would be up in arms. But because it's snakes, people are ignoring this problem. And to be honest, they are also living creatures that deserve our respect as well. So, FWC, have the day you deserve.